Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Blue Moose Bubba here on the morning of Monday, June 29th, 2020. Stand by for commentary. Well, Americans, here you're between a rock and a hard place. You got what you call the free press, which is not reporting the right thing, and you got people that are acting stupid, and the government are acquiescing to them. That is not the way to go. Let me explain what I'm saying here. Looking at you from a society outside yours, and knowing that my ancestors went through this over a thousand of your years ago, and watching the old videos, what you call videos here, of what happened back then, I understand my civilization a lot more now that I'm living through yours. Because you were both stupid. They killed themselves. 14 billion of them killed themselves, acting the stupidest way that you are. Yeah, they went around removing statues and everything. They wanted to erase everything that was wrong with their history. Yeah? And by the time they ended, the only ones that remembered them was 500,000 people out of 14 billion. And we just have them as the way you remember the Egyptians. Does that tell you something? Or the Sumerians, where you just got bits and pieces of their civilization. Why don't you destroy that too? Destroy the Roman Colosseum. This is the problem. The problem that you have here that your news organizations and so-called reporters and journalists aren't reporting is you're dealing with a pigmentation and a faction issue here. And every faction wants to control. You can't control a thing. The African Americans want to control the narrative. They can't. The whites can't control the narratives. The Asians can't control the native. You got this us versus them attitude. And the problem is, if it was us versus them, like black and white, then it would be much easier to solve. But you got us versus them. You got blacks and Latinos, which hate each other with a passion. You got Asians and ragheads, which don't like each other either. And you got Europeans, which don't like anybody. And their descendants, white Americans. White power! Yeah, right. You see that video that Mr. Trump's putting out there with the guy yelling, white power, white power. That's as bad as saying black matters, black lives matters, black lives matters. And they're both stupid because neither of them matter. White power doesn't matter and black lives don't matter. Your lives matter as much as a white, as much as another one. So if you put less instincts on a white life, then your black life doesn't matter either. You see what I mean, Americans? This is as stupid as you guys got. My civilization today would say, why should we interfere in their affairs? Because they are so dumbasses, it's not even funny. I don't see anybody of you sitting there and said, we got to resolve this. We need all the pigmentations on this country, all the faction in this country sitting down here. And it's not going to be pretty, it's not going to be perfect, but you got to sit down into hell with you if you don't, because you got to abide by this agreement. And that's the way you got to put it. There's no other way of doing it. That's the way we did ours. It took us 2 centuries and a couple of generations, because our generations lived longer than yours. So it would take you about 4 or 5 of your generations, if you take 2 of your centuries, to get this done. And stop promoting hate. That's the problem. Your parents promote hate on you, and you promote hate on your kids. And you keep it going. Therefore, the blacks wouldn't have this, oh, slavery, yeah. They wouldn't have this. Or, we got to destroy the monuments because we don't like them. They're offensive to us. Really? They're not offensive to you. They're there, and they have a teaching mechanism that you can teach your descendants. But do you look at that? Hell no. There is a thing in history here. You got to develop a society that works for all your pigmentations and factions, and get rid of the pigmentations and get rid of the factions. But do you want to do that? Hell no. This is your favorite alien, and Moose Bubba saying, well, if that's the way you want it, to hell with you. Good day.